Welcome back to Montana this morning, everyone. The time is 6:47. We have lots of fog and clouds to get us started on this Friday spring day, 52 degrees. Oh, and it looks like we have some rain too. I guess it's just another spring day here in Montana. Well, let's get started with news. We begin in New Jersey, where crews removed the wreckage from a deadly interstate school bus crash. Police confirm the driver of that bus was trying to make an illegal turn when it collided with a dump truck. The impact was so forceful it ripped the bus off its undercarriage, killing a fifth grader and a teacher. At least 40 other people were injured. In Hawaii, the Kilauea volcano erupted again yesterday. It launched a giant ash cloud 30,000 feet into the air, the biggest plume so far. Scientists say more explosions are possible, but they don't know when they might occur. And final preparations are underway for the much-anticipated wedding of Prince Harry and American actress Meghan Markle. Markle has asked Prince Charles to walk her down the aisle. In a statement from Kensington Palace, Prince Charles said he's pleased to be able to welcome her to the royal family in this way. He takes the place of Markle's father, Thomas, who is reportedly recovering from heart surgery. Turning to flood watch, residents along the Clark Fork River in Missoula are catching a break as cooler weather slows down mountain snowmelt. Over the past 24 hours, the forecast for today's next crest on the river has been gradually dropping. Although waters will still be high again as we start the weekend, hydrologists are now expecting the crest on Clark Fork at Missoula to be at 12.6 feet. If that holds true, the river should stay below the 13-foot major flood stage and would be more than a foot lower than last week's crest, which had been the highest in more than a century.
Clark Fork River expected heights through this weekend and through the end of this week are going to kind of level off a little bit. We've had this cooler air come in, and whenever we get these cooler air masses, just like we had at the end of the last surge of water that came down the river, it brings the rivers to a level spot and then they start dropping some. It's such a big factor. If we can get cool air in this time of year, and it really slows down that snowmelt coming out of the mountains, in some cases shuts it down.
Nicholas still warns that high country snowpack remains robust, and he believes the flooding threat will continue well into June. On to court news. 6 local taxpayers are suing to stop the city of Billings from imposing franchise fees on water, sewer, and garbage. The lawsuit claims the city's franchise fees amount to an illegal sales tax to raise revenue for the city. According to the court brief filed Wednesday, Montana law prohibits municipalities from imposing a tax on the sale of goods and services. In 2017, those fees brought in $2.3 million to the city's general fund. In a news release, the residents point out that back in 2003, the Montana Supreme Court struck down a similar franchise fee that the city attempted to collect. As of earlier this week, the city's new proposed budget includes no franchise fees.
For this next year, they've taken it out of the budget, but there's nothing that keeps the city council from adding it back in when the legal pressures are off the city. The problem is the city council has never agreed to rescind its ability to impose that sales tax at a later date. And we want to make sure that there's a court order in place that protects the residents of the city from this ever happening again.
The lawsuit also asked the court to certify the complaint as a class action suit for 30,000 residents. We spoke with Councilman Larry Brewer, who said if revenue for franchise fees goes into the general fund for a purpose other than the service, then he believes they are illegal. In news out of Colstrip, the city will receive $4.5 million to help prepare for life after the shutdown of the Colstrip power plants. The money comes from Spokane-based Avista Corporation, one of 6 owners of the Colstrip plants. At a hearing in Helena Thursday, the State Public Service Commission heard details on Avista's proposed sale to Canadian power firm Hydro One Limited. As part of the sale, Avista has agreed to pay $4.5 million to the city of Colstrip. Avista CEO Scott Morris told the commission he doesn't see the newer Colstrip plants 3 and 4 shutting down anytime soon, but Avista wants to help Colstrip prepare for eventual life after the power plants. Colstrip Mayor John Williams says the city negotiated part of the deal directly with Avista and will now undertake a public process to decide how to spend the money. The 5-member PSC must sign off on the proposed sale of Avista before it's complete. Last year, Puget Sound Energy, the majority owner of the Colstrip plants, agreed to set aside $10 million to help the Colstrip community prepare for its uncertain future. Continuing our coverage, the names of 2 children killed in a crash near Busby Monday night have been released. The Bighorn County coroner identifies the victims as 12-year-old Lola Pickett and 8-year-old Mona Eaglestar. The girls were killed when the SUV they were riding in hit a culvert and rolled off U.S. Highway 212. Alcohol is a suspected factor in the crash. The Montana Highway Patrol says none of the occupants were wearing seatbelts. In other news, it was a long, cold winter, and crews clearing the Beartooth Pass are living that reality every day. Q2 went up the Beartooth Pass Thursday before the road opens to the public. This year saw a lot of snowfall, and crews are working to clear snowdrifts more than 20 feet deep so it can open by Memorial Day. The time, pressure, and constant grind causes stress to the machinery, and breakdowns happen almost daily. Supervisor Tom Tilsey tells us the crews are skilled mechanics who work diligently to keep everything in working order for as long as it takes to get the road clear.
We're still a couple days away from the line, so hopefully by the end of tomorrow or first thing Monday we'll have the hole punched through. These tourist towns, it's their main money maker. I mean, if we don't have it open, the businesses down in Red Lodge and Cook City, it hurts them tremendously. So that's always on our top of our list. We got to get this open so all the businesses can get this tourist money into town. So top priority.
As of right now, the pass is set to open Memorial Day weekend. And wrapping up our news this Friday morning, the list of the most popular names for boys and girls born in Montana is out. Olivia took the top spot for girls in 2017, and for boys, it was James. Olivia was followed by Emma, Harper, Ava, and Charlotte. And for boys, the runner-ups were William, Liam, Oliver, and Wyatt. In Wyoming, Emma tops the girls list, while it's Liam for boys. Rounding out the top 5 for girls was Harper, Ava, Avery, and Charlotte. For boys, it was Wyatt, Carter, James, and Logan.